So there's definitely a nanny state in New York. They're proposing new legislation to put extra packaging on Tide Pods to make it less colorful, like less appealing to people. So it will decrease the deaths. But this is false, and this is not going to actually prevent any deaths because the majority of the people doing the Tide Pod challenge are teenagers, young adults that know that the product is poisonous, right? So they're doing this shit knowingly. There's very little you can do for people that are willfully putting themselves in danger, knowing the danger. Like the only thing that can change that is if their parents get involved and, and teach them not to be fucking retards and maybe be involved in their kid's life. So creating new legislation that is just going to increase the cost of Tide Pods isn't going to help anything. It's not going to prevent any deaths. And, this is just how liberals think. They're like, oh, we just need to ban it. We need to regulate it. We need to do this. And, make it so people don't want to do it eat this stuff anymore. But like I said before, just making the company buy new packaging, put new lettering on products, change their whole formula. That costs a ton of fucking money, and they're not going to absorb that cost themselves. They're going to pass it on to the consumer, so you're just going to be paying more for Tide Pods, and it's not going to prevent any fucking death, right? Like, there was the challenge, the hot water challenge, or the boiling water. People throwing boiling water on themselves. What are you going to do? Ban water or something? I saw another one. There's an element challenge where they're cranking up an element and they put their arms on it and they burn themselves. Like, people do stupid shit. There's very little you can do. You can't ban YouTube. You can't censor this. And people are dumb, and they'll always do dumb shit, and you can't really prevent it. And the only way, like I said, you can is if through the parents. They got to be involved. Maybe the education system has to be a little bit better, because if this is happening a lot in, like, I don't know, America, not opposed to Canada, it's like, okay, what is the problem with America? Why is this always happening in your country? So maybe it's something to do with the education system. I don't know, but like the solutions that liberals have will always just not fix anything, and it's just going to punish the average people who buy the product, which is 99.9% of them, and who don't decide to ingest it, don't decide to eat it, right? So these are the only people who are going to be punished. And always seems to be the case whenever people on the left try to fix stuff. It's always, they either make everybody go to the lowest common denominator, right? Like, the BBC and feminist bitching. Now everybody's has like a pay gap, or a cap on their pay. So it's their solutions always just do nothing. And I wish people were just less dumb, but at the same time, I kind of want these people to, like, get rid of their genes. And if they're doing it voluntarily like this, then it's like, who am I to stop them, right? It's like, if you want to jump off a cliff, if you want to go, like, run up the side of a cliff, or scale a mountain with no gear on, then, go ahead, do it. You're dumb, and when you die, you're not going to have kids, and then that gene pool will not be reproduced, and we will have less stupid people. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. You want to let some people, go out and be dumb, because if you constantly save them and do this, then they're gonna live a long time. They're gonna bang a bunch of random people, have a bunch of illegitimate kids, and it's just gonna create bigger problems down the road. Because now you got a bunch of more little retards running around eating Tide Pods, throwing hot water in their face. Like, it's cyclical, and this all has to do with, like, socialism and stuff. And honestly, I'm not, like, we subsidize stupid people, bad behavior all the time. If we didn't have like free healthcare in a lot of different places and stuff, I think that maybe there would be less of this happening. Because like it's like they don't think of the consequences, or they think they're just going to be okay and taken care of if something goes wrong. Like, I don't know if it's just, yeah, it's like there's wrong incentives in place today, and makes people even more dumb, or if it's like some dysgenic thing where we're just breeding more stupid people nowadays, or it's the education system, or it's the parents just not being involved. Maybe all these people who are doing this are have a single parent, are in single parent households or something, and they only have one parent. Maybe that's a problem. Maybe it's all these things together. But I know the issue, to solve the issue, is not, you don't need to add regulations. You don't need to add things like this to solve the issue. You just need to, like, if anything, take away negative incentives, and then have people kind of like, start paying attention to their kids again and stuff, right? Like, having to be a provider for their kids, because a lot of people on welfare and stuff, a lot of lower class poor people, like, it's, even though they have a lot more time in their hands, it's not like they're spending all that extra time with their kids and stuff. So it's like, if they're not going to be spending time with their kids, at least have them fucking be working and providing some type of benefit to society or something, at least paying their own way, right? So I don't know. And then that way, if we stop giving them money and they have to go work and shit, maybe they'll have less fucking kids, less dumb kids, and smart people will have more kids over time. And in 100 years, nobody will be eating Tide Pods, because all the families will be together, and there won't be a bunch of dumb people breeding or as much, right? So I don't know. I think this is really, like, really just is an example of just today's society, and kind of where we're going towards, like, that like an idiocracy, essentially. Like, if you've ever seen that movie Idiocracy, it feels to me like we are moving towards that. Like, there is, if you watch like movies today, if you watch just some of the level of comedy, it's just so base. I think we are getting dumber as a society in some ways, and I hope we can move away from that. And I believe the reason we are getting dumber is because of just the policies we have in place, the incentives that the government have in place. And over time, if we keep these incentives in place, if we keep, like the socialist system, then we're going to have a bunch of retards in the future, 50 years down the road, eating more Tide Pods. And you can put as many restrictions, you can put as many labels and plastic bags over them, wrapping them 100 times. It doesn't matter. They're going to open it, and they're gonna eat it, or they're going to sniff it, or some shit. They don't care, right? These people, like, the majority of them doing it, like I said before, they know the effects of this product, right? They know the risk. So, at some point, you just gotta let people suffer the consequences of their actions. We can't always babysit them. It's, like I said before, if you want to scale that fucking mountain with no mountain gear, I'll say it's stupid. I say you shouldn't fucking do it, and maybe you should reconsider. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna go and constantly watch you and always make sure you're not doing this, and have a guard always monitoring. No, fuck that, man. At some point, you gotta take your own life into your own hands. And if you keep doing stupid shit, you're gonna get fucked. And I should not have to come and pull you out of your mess every fucking time. That's bullshit. It's like these people that are ODing a lot of the times. Like, that is an issue, but a lot of them, they'll OD like 5-6 times in a day, and then the cops will come back, and this product that they're using to resuscitate them costs a lot of fucking money. So in my opinion, after a couple times, I'd be like, fuck you, man. You've made your choice. Like, you've made your fucking choice. Maybe that's harsh. I don't know, but at some point, it's just like, fuck, man, you're wasting a ton of fucking money and resources, and you're just a burden on society. And I'm not advocating anybody go and get rid of these people like that, but just let them do what they do, and don't always catch them when they fall. That's essentially what I'm saying. But this video went a lot longer than I expected about Tide Pods. I'm sure I rambled and stuff, but either way, if you like my content, subscribe and have a good day. See ya.